Do you ever have a great idea for a quilt block and then wonder how to turn it into a full-size quilt? Today we're going to look at exactly how to do that. We'll explore the design process of turning your quilt blocks into a whole quilt. Hi, I'm Andy and this is True Blue Quilts, a place to enjoy, experiment, and excel as you quilt. In 2023, I am focused on the Little Bit Different Block of the Month program, and we're making 6x9 quilt blocks so they finish as a rectangle instead of the typical square quilt blocks that we're used to working with. This makes it a little bit challenging when you go to put all the blocks together in a quilt. And of course you can just sew the rows together and then add some borders and make it as big as you need to. But I am a fan of modern quilting, and there are some design principles that I like to keep in mind when I create my quilt designs. And you may have noticed some of these in the quilts that I have released recently for the Little Bit Different collection. The contained pattern features the March 2023 block from the Little Bit Different collection, and it exemplifies modern traditionalism, which I understand as doing something new with a classic quilt block. So I took the churn dash block and made it fit into my rectangular design. I used offset rows, which gives more visual interest, and then I expanded the block to create a border for the whole quilt. One thing I really enjoy today that I want to share with you is the idea of scale, taking a small block and then repeating it in larger sizes. Variations of scale are a core design principle of modern quilting. Now, I want you to stay tuned through this whole video because I have a special surprise coming at the end and you don't want to miss that. But getting back to the idea of scale. So I've got my blocks at 6 inches by 9 inches. And the second element that I want to keep in mind is that my initial design, I want to work with just 12 blocks. Because if you are sewing along with me in the Block of the Month program, after the year is over, you will have 12 blocks. And I want you to be able to put those together in one quilt. So let's take a look at what I have done with clusters, which is the April pattern. I decided to make a large stretched star. So these are the same components from the small block, but they are the full 6x9 rectangle. Let's get the rest of the star together. And then I just fill in with my background squares. So I've got a large star that's going to come in here, and now let's grab the original stretch star blocks. The next design element I like to play with, I've got my scale differences going on there, but then I like to play with an alternate grid. So instead of just working with my rows, I'm going to set this on the diagonal. So I'm going to arrange these blocks to fill in this other corner of my quilt, and I'll put 6 of the blocks on this corner and then I'll fill in the other 6 below this star, and I'll add my additional background squares in here to fill in that negative space, which is yet another design element of modern quilting. So if you'd like to explore some more of these ideas, check the video description below for more resources on modern quilting. So you can see the top half of the quilt there, where I'm keeping the small stars in the corner, kind of on a diagonal, and then I've got these 2 larger squares, stars, that will come together once I sew the rows in place. So I've played with scale and I have played with an alternate grid to come up with a design I'm calling clusters. I promised you a special surprise. In just a couple weeks, on May 4th, 2023, I am offering a free workshop to explore modern quilting, and I'm going to offer 3 ways to spice up your sampler quilts. So if you are wondering how to put these variety of little bit different blocks together, come join me in this free workshop and we will talk all about modern quilting and ways to spice up your quilt design. I hope you can join me. The sign up link is in the video description below. If you'd like to check out some more modern quilt designs, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.